Yeah, good morning. We have finished up to the 65 program. Now, today we'll see the 66th and onwards. Yeah. First, in the 66th program, first we'll go to the main. Yeah, in every program, first we have to go to the main, and from there onwards, we have to start the execution. So now output of this program will be, yeah, first we are defining an array with the size of 4. And A of 0 will get 1, and A of 1 will get 2, and A of 2 will get 3, and A of 3 will get value 4, right? So array is initialized, fully initialized. So ARY is an array with 4 values we can store into that, because it is ARY of 4. And values are stored. A of 0 is 1, A of 1 is 2, A of 2 is 3, and A of 3 is 4. Then come to the next statement, function FOO, and we are passing array. So I already explained when we pass arrays, arrays won't go. Even arrays data won't go. Simply in a function, whatever the name we are going to give, that name will be another name to the same place where ARY is defined. Where ARY is defined. Or simply see the function FOO. In that int P of 4 is defined. So now P is a variable, P is a name given to the where ARY is defined to the same place. Or simply P is a type of pointer variable which will hold address of this ARY, right? So address of this ARY will be stored into the P, right? So now even we can access the P of 1, P of 0, P of 2, P of 3, same space where ARY is defined will be accessed. That means if we do any modifications using P in the function, those modifications will come to the main. Those modifications will come to the main. There is no pass by value mechanism on arrays, and not even the pass by address, simply aliasing. Another name will be given, right? Now, yeah, we'll see the function. P is the variable which will hold address of ARY, or P is a variable which is the same location where ARY is defined, right? So now see the function int I is equal to 10 is defined. I is another variable, and value 10 is stored into that. Now actually P had address of ARY, or simply P was an where ARY Y was there. But now come to the executable statement in FOO for that is P is equal to ampersand I. Now we are collecting address of I. Example, if I is defined at say 35,000, so that 35,000 address we are collecting into the P, right? Say assuming that ARY is defined at 20,000, yeah, 8 bytes are required. So that ARY address, 20,000 address will come into the P, So now in the function, we are collecting address of I into the P. We are leaving the address of ARY. We are leaving the address of ARY and we are collecting the address of I. And yeah, once we collect the address of I, by writing even P of 0, we can access the value of I. We can access the value of I. So that is 10 will come from the function FOO. 10 will come from the function FOO. And then once you reach the closing brace of any function, we'll go back to the place from where it is called. So now we'll go to the main, and in the main after FOO call, printf is there, we will execute the printf statement. And ARY is the original variable, and ARY of 0 will be accessed and we will get 1. So the output from this program will be 10 from the function FOO and 1 from the main printf statement, right? So 10 from the function FOO and 1 from the main, right? Yeah. What happened? Are you listening or not? Or simply you joined just now? 97. Yeah, again I'm repeating, ARY is a variable, assuming that defined at 20,000 memory location, and 8 bytes are required. 8 bytes are required because ARY is of 4. Each integer place requires 2 bytes. So now 20,000 to 20,007 bytes will be used by the ARY function, and ARY of 0 will get 1, ARY 1 will get 2, ARY 2 will get 3, and ARY 3 will get 4, because we have initialized the ARY variable, array variable. Now we are passing ARY. When we write its name, simply its address will go. Its address will go. So now in the function void FOO function, int P of 4 is there. So now P is a variable. Yeah, we can treat it as either alias name or a variable which holds the address of this ARY. Right. So now using P, we can access the ARY if we hold the same address in the P. But see the for function, we are defining integer I and storing value 10 into that, and then we are collecting the address of I. And we are leaving the address of ARY and we are collecting the address of I. So now address of I is available in the P. Now, if you print P of 0, we will get value of I, which is 10. And there, from there, if we come back in the main, we are printing the, after FOO function, we are printing the value of ARY of 0. So we will get 1. So now 10 from the function and 1 from the main will be the output. 10 and 1 are the outputs. Right? Now come to the 67. Yeah. See here again, same type of initializations are there. Int ARY of 4. Now assuming that same 20,000 is the memory location given to the ARY, and from there onwards 8 bytes. So that means 20,000 to 20,007, including both 20,000 and 20,007. Right? So now 20,000 and 20,001 will be ARY of 0. 20,002 and 3 will be ARY of 1. 20,004 and 5 ARY of 2. 20,006 and 7 ARY of 3. ARY of 3. That's the fourth value. Now P is a pointer variable and ARY plus 3. You know that means ARY, if ARY is given, 20,000 will come, but plus 3 is given. So it doesn't mean that the 20,000 plus 3, 20,003. No. So it will give the fourth value. ARY plus 3 means, plus 1 means the second value will come, plus 2 means third value will come, plus 3 means fourth value will come, and fourth value location is 20,006 and 7. So now 20,006 is the value we stored into the P. 20,006 is the location address we gave in to the P. Now come to the printf statement minus P of minus 2. P of minus 2. P of minus 2 means if you print star P or P of 0, we will get A of 3's value. We will get actually 4 if you print direct P of 0 value, because P got 20,006 and 7 locations actually. So now we will get value 4 if we print P of 0. But whereas if you print P of minus 1, P of minus 1, we will get 3. That's a before value. So now if you print minus 2, we will get 2. So P of minus 2 in the printf statement will give us value 2. It's nothing but P ARY of 1. Or simply you can see by watching the declaration part. So now star P is equal ARY plus 3 is written. And this means minus 1. P of minus 2 means ARY plus 3 minus 2. That means ARY plus 1, which will point to the second value. Which is ARY of 1, which is the value 2 again. Right. First we are collecting address of A of 3, because in the declaration int star P is equal ARY plus 3 is written. So that means ARY of 3's it is we are collecting. ARY of 3's it is we are collecting, which is 20,006 as per the assumption. Right, 20,006. So now when you write P of in the square brackets -2, so come back to the two values. If you print P of 0, we will get ARY of 3, which is the value 4, but we give -2. So we'll get ARY of 1, which is the value 2. So simply we will get 2 from the first percentile D and P of -2. Then what about the second? So now P is not modified. P is not modified. So P is as it is. P is on the fourth that is 2006 and 7. So now star P means value at 2006 and 7 will come, which is the fourth value. That is ARY of 3's value. So that is value 4 is there. Value P is on the 20,006 location. So now star P means value at 20,006 location. That means 20,006 and 7. Both the locations will be accessed, and we will get ARY of 3's value, which is the value 4. Which is the value 4. So now star P means we will get value 4. ARY is Y of 3. So we'll get value 4. ARY of 3 is value 4, that we will get. So now star P means value 4. ARY of 4. See, which is not our location actually, because we have defined an array with ARY of 4. ARY of 4. That means we will have ARY of 0, ARY of 1, ARY of 2, and ARY of 3. There will not be ARY of 4, which is not defined, which is not the part of ARY variable. So we are trying to access outside the defined place. And in C language, there is no boundary checking. System compiler won't check the boundary. Even you try to access the ARY of 100, which is not defined by us, it will access. Appropriate location will be accessed. Right? If it is started from the 20,000, and if you try to access the ARY of 100, 200 bytes are required. So 20,000, 200 location and 201 locations will be accessed, and the value available in that location will be returned to us, because there is no boundary checking in C language. So if you try to access A of 4, we will get output, but we don't know what output will come there. We don't know what output will come there. First one is 2, and ARY of star P, which is star P is resulting the value 4, and ARY of 4, which is not our location. We have not defined that. Whatever the value is there in that location, that is 20,008 and 9 are the locations of ARY of 4 if we access. So undefined locations, whatever the value available in those locations, that will be converted into the integer value, and we will get. Most of the times we'll get 0. Most of the times, and not guaranteed. Not guaranteed. Most of the times we'll get 0, and actually we should say that it's a garbage value, unknown value. So first value is 2, second value is we don't know what value will come there, right? We don't know what value will come there. Actually, yeah, in that fourth location, if we have some other value, for example, int ARY of 4 is equal 1, 2, 3, 2, example. 1, 2, 3, 2, example. So then star P will result in the value 2. Star P will result in value 2, then we can access the ARY of 2, so which will result in value 3. Actually, we have to change the initialization value. How 2 is printed? Yeah, 2 is actually somebody's question, Madhava Reddy. How 2 is printed from the P of -2. So P is pointing on the A of 3, ARY of 3. ARY of 3 is the value 4. ARY of 3 is value 4. Now, if you take minus P of 0, we will get that location value, ARY of 3. So value 4 will come. If you use minus 1, ARY of 2 will be accessed. So we'll get 3. If you use P of minus 2, we will get the previous value. So ARY of 1 will be accessed, and ARY of 1 is the value 2. So we will get value 2 from the P of minus 2. P of minus 2 will result in 2, and ARY star P means the ARY of 3 value will come, which is the value 4, and ARY of 4, which is not our location. We didn't define that. So we don't know what value will come there. So it is a garbage value, unknown value. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, if you change the initialization and if you change that last 4 to 0 to 3, any value between 0 to 3, so then star P will result in 0 to 3, and ARY of 0 to 3 are the locations which are defined by us. So we have to take care when you are giving this type of question, right? So this 4, I am selecting the 4 you see there. The value 4 is selected. So star P will result in that value. So that is 4. Instead of 4, if you have any value from 0 to 3, array is defined up to the 4th 0 to 3 locations. We can access the value. Right? Now come to the question number 68. 68. Yeah. It's okay, Madhav. Question number 68. Again, in this array is defined. A of 4 is defined, and values are initialized to the A of 4. So A of 0 will get 5, A of 1 will get 7, A of 2 will get 3, and A of 3 will get 12. Because int A of 4 is equal 5, 7, 3, 12 are the values given. Right. Now come to the A of 3 minus A of 1. You know, don't think that, for example, array A is defined from 20,000 memory location onwards. So at 20,000 memory location, A of 0 will be there. And at 20,002, A of 1 will be there. At 20,004, A of 2 will be there. At 20,006, A of 3 will be there. So now 20,006 minus 20,002 is equal 4 is not right. Not right. Again, that should be divided with the size of the data type. So now when we increment a pointer by 1, it will go to the next value. Again, when you subtract, we will get how many values can fit in between these two these locations. That will be the value. So now A of 3 minus A of 1 will result in value 2. Value 2. It's not 4. Because A of 3 is at 20,006 and A of 1 is at 20,002. So 20,006 minus 20,002 will result in 4 by the data type. Data type is integer. Integer is 2. So now 4 by 2 will result in value 2. So now n will get value 2. Value 2. Even when we increment pointers also same thing will happen. For example, you take address of A into a pointer variable and you just increment the value of pointer by 1. P is equal P plus 1. It will go to the next value. It won't go to the next byte. It won't go to the next byte. It will go to the next value. Next value, where the next value may be. That depends on the data type. If it is integer, it will be after 2 bytes. If it is float, it will be after 4 bytes. If it is long double, it will be after 10 bytes. If it is any other data type, that depends on the data type size. That depends on the data type size. Okay. So now address of A of 3 is 20,006, no doubt. Minus address of A of 1, 20,002 will result in 4 by the data type. So the data type integer equals 2. So 4 by 2 is 2. So 2 will be the value of n. Output will be 2. Output will be 2. Now come to the next question. Come to the next question. 69. Question number 69. Yeah, again, array A is initialized with 1, 2, 3, 4. AF 0, 1, AF 2, AF 1, 2, AF 2, 3, AF 3, 4. Array is initialized. It's a data type. Vishnu, 4 by 2, 2 is the data type. Data type. Data type size. Right. Now, 69, question number 69. Array AF4 is defined and initialized with 1, 2, 3, 4. So now pointer variable is equal ampersand AF2. That means address of AF2 we have collected. Yeah, if we assume again 20,000, example, 20,000 at 20,000 memory location, AF0 will be there. At 20,002, AF1 will be there. At 20,004, AF2 will be there. So we took 20,004 into the PTR. So now float n is equal 1. Variable n is defined as of type float and initialized with the value 1. Now PTR is equal PTR plus n. Yeah, actually it should go to the next location because the value of n is 1. That means it should address the 20,006, but this n is floating type. This n is floating type. So floating type value we cannot add to the pointer variable. You cannot add floating value to the pointer variable. So pointer arithmetic, there is a topic in the language subject. Pointer can be incremented by some number. PTR is equal PTR plus 1, 2, 3, 4. But that some number must be integer type. Pointer is equal pointer plus something we can do. So that must be integer type. Pointer arithmetic, we can add a value that must be integer type, not the float type or any other type. Only integers can be added to the pointer variable. But here, yeah, by watching the n value 1, we may assume that that's an integer, but the type of n is float. Type of n is float. So when you write n is equal 1, it may be stored as 1.00000. So like that it will be stored. Sometimes, you know, even you store 1.1 for example 8 or 10 zeros and followed by 1 may be there, because I already told floating point numbers may not be stored exactly. Yeah, sometimes it may be stored exactly, but sometimes it may not be possible. That you will understand if you go through the computer organization and architecture. Right. Now sometimes it may be stored as 0.999999 around 10 nines. That is approximately equal to the 1. And you cannot add floating value to the pointer variable. It's not allowed. And on pointers, you can add integers and you can subtract integers. So PTR is equal PTR minus 1 will come to the previous value. Leave about what type of pointer it is. Simply, if it is, for example, double array is there, and we store address of, say, A of 5, A is double, example. So now, if you take PTR is equal PTR minus 1, so it will come to the A of 4 value. So 10 bytes it will come back if it is long double, or if it is double 8 bytes, if it is long double 10 bytes. So that depends on the data type. Pointer, you can add a number or you can subtract a number, right? Pointer arithmetic, you can add integer number or you can subtract integer number. And while doing that also, you must take care of how we are doing that. For example, array is only 4 values are there in this case. If you write PTR is equal PTR 10, PTR plus 10, it will go to the 11th value, which is not defined by us. So we have to take care while doing the plus operation or the subtract operation on the pointer. And division is meaningless. Say you cannot divide the PTR value because address cannot be divided. So meaningless. Again, multiplication is also meaningless. Pointer arithmetic allows only addition as well as subtraction. And one more operation allowed is you can subtract one address from the other address. Example, in the above example, ampersand A of 3 minus ampersand A of 1. Like that we can subtract, but don't try to do this in the wrong way, like address of A subtracted from address of B. So that's a meaningless operation. Generally, in array on arrays, address of one location subtraction address of another location, we can identify how many locations are there in between these two locations which we are subtracting. That we can understand. So pointer arithmetic allows addition, subtraction of integers, and even subtraction one address from other address, or one pointer variable value from other pointer variable when both are pointing on the same array. When both are pointing on the same array, right? We must use arithmetic addition or subtractions properly, and no division, no multiplication, right? Here it is an error because we tried to add floating value, leave about whether it is 1.00 or any other. Simply it is a floating value. Floating value cannot be added to the pointer variable. Am I clear? Right. Yeah, I'm sure that if you go through all these questions and if you understand all of this, for you placement will be very easy. So concentrate on while I'm explaining. Yeah, question number 70. Question number 70. Yeah, several times I told when we store floating value, it may be stored exactly or it may not be stored exactly. This is what I told several times. Now float f is equal, sorry, f and n is of type, if n is int type, what is that? Yeah, if n is int type, it will go to the next location. I think we stored, yeah, I'll wait, I'll show you once again. Yeah, question number 69, once again, if n is integer type, so that is 1. 1 means PTR is holding address of A of 2. So it will go to the A of 3. Next value it will take. So now A of 3 is value 4. So we'll get value 4. Siri, is this clear? 5T4. If it is integer, we can add integer value. 69, question number 69, repeating. So if n is integer, PTR is equal PTR plus n is valid statement. So it will be PTR plus 1. So the PTR will go to the next value. Actually, PTR was on the A of 2 because we took the address of A of 2 into the PTR. So now PTR will go on to the A of 3. So now A of 3 value is 4. So we'll get 4. We'll get 4. So if we remove ampersand and if we keep n is equal 1. If we remove ampersand, which ampersand you want to remove? No, it won't take like that. It won't take like, yeah, 2004 plus 1 is equal 2006. It's not 2005. Okay, your confusions are a little different. When we increment a pointer, it will go to the next same type of value. Next same type of value. For example, we have a long double array example. Long double array example. Long double array requires 10 bytes because each location requires 10 bytes. So now if you take the address of that starting value, that is long double array, say A is the array variable. So now if you take first address, that is A of 0's address, when you increment the pointer, it will go to the 10 bytes, next to 10 bytes, because the next value will be at 20,010. Simply it will go to the next value. $20,004 plus 1 is not 20,005. It will be 20,006 because integer requires. Yeah, you shouldn't take a star PTR is equal A of 2. One of your classmates question. I don't want to reveal their names, and I think no other can see that. Can we write like this? I'm posting. You please see this question. Control C, Control V. Yeah, see this question. Yeah, don't worry. I am not revealing the name of the student. Sir, can we write like this? Star PTR is equal A of 2. No, you can't write like this because A of 2 is integer value. A of 2 will give us integer value. So now you're trying to store integer value into the pointer variable. No, you should take address of a variable into the pointer. Yeah, if you take like this, it's the wrong way of writing. What will happen means you go and check. You got my point? Star PTR is equal A of 2 is not the proper statement. It's a wrong statement because PTR is a pointer variable. Yeah, in the declaration, if you write the star PTR is equal 2 is mistake. Because PTR is pointer type, we can collect only address of the same type of variable. Same type means data type. If it is integer pointer, integer variable address we can store. If it is long pointer, we can store long variable address and so on. So now star PTR in the declaration, int star PTR is equal A of 2 is not a valid statement. Not a valid statement. Right? So you should collect only the address of variable into the PTR variable. Right? Yeah, if you write only A of 2 value will come. A of 2 value is, I think, 3. So 3 we are trying to store into the pointer variable, which is not allowed. Right? Yeah. Come to the question number 70. Is this clear? I don't want to reveal your name. Is this clear? Right. You can store only the address of a variable into a pointer variable. You cannot store direct integers into the pointer variable. If you store like that, it's not proper way of writing. You may get some wrong answers, improper answers, right? Right. Come to the question number 70. Question number 70. Float f is equal 0.1. Float f is equal 0.1. I already told that 0.1 will be stored. Of course, in the binary form, they will be stored. But the way floating values are stored is different. Integer values, of course, everything will be stored in the binary form only. Integer values, exact value will be stored. If you write, say, 5, example, integer value 5 into integer variable, so the equivalent of 5 is 101. 101. That's the exact equivalent. Exact equivalent. So now exact equivalent of integers will come and we can store the exact equivalent into the variable. Binary exact equivalent will be there for the integers. Whereas if you go to the floating values, you will not find the exact equivalent. Exact will not be there. Some values may get the exact equivalent, but not all. Most of the times we don't get the exact equivalent. So now f is equal 0.01 may be stored as, yeah, you see 0.01 may be stored as 0.0, sorry, f is equal 0.1, f is equal 0.1 may be stored as f is equal 0.0 followed by 10 nines. Example. they may not be equal. Very less number of times they may be equal, and most of the times, out of 100 times, 99 times you may get not equal. One time you may get equal. So for the because of that reason, yeah, in the if condition, if f is equal 0.1, yeah, condition may not be true. May not be true. Most of the times it may be false, and very few times it may be true. So answer cannot be predictable, but most of the times answer is false. Most of the times answer will be false. Reason is floating values storing method is different. They may not be stored exactly. Right? Yeah, come to the next program, 71. 71. Yeah, n is equal 0 and m is equal 0. Variables are defined. Can you predict the output? Yeah, here I'll explain you the indentation speciality. Indentation. Yeah, can you predict the output? Anyone? Yeah, some members wrote false, some members wrote true, and some members wrote no output. Yeah. See here, indentation. Now n is equal 0, m is equal 0 are the values stored. Yeah, some are true, some are false. One member wrote to true and false. Right. Okay. Yeah, one is the indentation and another is the else binding up. Right. Always else will be binded with the nearest if in the which is above that else. You got my point? Until unless braces are not there, the else will be binded with the immediate above if. So now the last above printf statement, last printf above that else is there. That else is associated with the if m greater than 0. If m greater than 0. So now second if is there, right? If m greater than 0 is there, so with that the else is associated. The else which we have in the program is associated with the if m greater than 0. Right. So now whatever the first if under first if, this second if else is there. You got my point? Actually, this entire thing, braces are not there, but no problem. You see, I have selected if n greater than 0, and after that, if m greater than 0 and else, both are there. So now, if n greater than 0 is right, these four lines, m greater than 0, if that is right, printf true. If that is false, if that is not true, then come to the printf false. So the entire thing is under if n greater than 0. So indentation is not written properly. The intentionally not written properly with proper indentation. The intention is you should understand. So that's the reason the indentation is not followed. If you see the other programs, the shiftings of the statements are written properly, indentation. But here all are written on the same line, same place. So actually under if n greater than 0, this m greater than 0 is there. If you want to open a brace under n greater than 0, you open. That will be the equivalent actually. So now m greater than 0, second condition is under the if n greater than 0. And else is associated to the if m greater than 0. If m greater than 0, that is associated to the if m greater than 0. So now first if n greater than 0 is false, because n is 0 and we are trying to check with n greater than 0. So it is false. So once if n is false, no statement will be executed, directly will come to the closing brace. Because this m greater than 0, monkey greater than 0 is inside the n greater than 0. Inside the first if, right? So second if will be executed only when first condition is right. Right. So no output will be the result from this program. No output will be the result from this program. Whereas if n value is some value, example, if n is 5, example, so 5 greater than 0 is right, then again condition m will be tested. So m is 0, we are assuming. So 0 greater than 0 is not right, then we'll come to the else part of the inner if. So we'll get false. If n is some value, if nest, n is nest, is some value, right? So if first if is true, then only the second if will be executed because it is inside the first if. And the last else is associated to the second if, not to the first if, right? If you want to associate it to the first if, you have to use the braces appropriately, right? Yeah. Any doubt, or is this clear? The selected statements are inside the first if. Even if you want to write braces, open a brace under the first if and close a brace after the printf false, right? Yeah. Yeah. Come to this 72, question number 72. Question number 72. Yes, is nested. Sir, if m greater than 0 is nested, no. Madhav Reddy. This is not clear. Yeah, don't worry. We will repeat all these questions once again in 5-6 classes speedily after completing. Because these are very much important. At the placement time, you will get a good benefit from this. Right. Now, question number 72. Question number 72. Yeah, int m is equal, main is a function actually. So now integer variable m is main is there. Yeah, some compilers are giving error, some compilers are giving 3. Some compilers are giving error, some compilers are giving 3. That's it. Your wish. You can say compiler dependent or 3 or depends on the, if it is old compiler error. So output is 3 or dependent on compiler. Anything you can write. Yeah, if you work out on the online compilers, you'll get 3. You'll get 3. I think for you, it is very simple. You can open 2 windows, one window, this lecture and other window, C compiler, and you can copy and paste there and directly you can run them. Seconds of time while I'm explaining, you can see the outputs. Shreya, right. More question. There are 5 more minutes. Now, question number 73. A of 5 is equal. An array variable is declared and initialized. A of 5 is equal 1, 5, 5, 4, 5. That means A of 0, 1, A of 1, 5, A of 2, 5, A of 3, 4, A of 4, 5. These are the values we have there. Now, yeah, for loop is there. Yeah, here in the above, we didn't write as per the indentation. Here, as per the indentation, it is written. Under for loop, if else is there. And only one construct is there. Braces are not essential. For can hold one statement, if can hold one statement, while can hold one statement. And this conditional looping constructs can hold one statement without braces. If you want to write many statements, you have to write braces. But when there is only one statement, braces are not essential. Here also same thing. I is equal 0, I less than 5, I plus plus is a for loop. And in that for loop, in the body of the for loop, only one statement is there. That is if else. Only one statement is there. That is if else. Under if, again, if can hold one statement, else can hold one statement. So totally all those statements do not require any opening and closing braces. Now, okay, we'll see here. Now, I is equal 0, I less than 5. Condition is right. Simply, we are not modifying the value of I anywhere. Only in the for's header we are modifying. By watching that, the following body of the for loop will be executed for 5 times. I is starting from 0 and it will become 1, it will become 2, 3 and 4. And when I becomes 5, we will come out from the loop. So simply that if and else will be executed for 5 times. That you remember first. So what will happen? We'll check there. If and else will be executed for 5 times. Right. So now if char of a of I is a of 0 because the I value is 0 for first time. So now a of 0 is value 1. Value 1. So now character of value 1, ASCII value will be taken. So now 1 is, we don't know what value is that. I already told all the symbols which are on the keyboard. All the symbols which are on the keyboard have their own ASCII values. ASCII values. So now example, capital A ASCII value is 65. Capital A ASCII value is 65. So now if you convert char of 65, we will get capital 5, capital A. Char of 65, we will get capital E. If you take char of 70, we will get that sixth character, maybe F, E or F, right? So now char of a number, that number's ASCII equivalent, right? So that character will come. If you take char of 97, I think, 97 or 98, we'll get small a. So now char of 47 or 48, we'll get equivalent of 0. So now char of 0, char of a of I is a of 0. A of 0 is value 1. Value 1. A of 0 is value 1. So value 1's equivalent symbol, ASCII equivalent 1 will be there, right? So that symbol will come there. It's not 5. We are sure that it's not 5. So now character 5's equivalent is, I think, from the 48 0 is started. 48 0, 49 1, 52, 51 3, 52 4, 53 5. So now if you take char of 53, we will get 5. So for none of those values which are given in the array, it will match with the 5. You got my point? So now a of 0 is value 1. A character equivalent of 1 is, I don't know what value, some symbol may be there. And then a of 1. So now a of 1 is 5. Character equivalent of 5. Character equivalent of 5 is, we don't know. Some symbol may be there because I didn't remember all the ASCII equivalents. I know only the ASCII equivalent of 0 to 9, ASCII equivalent of capital A to capital Z, and ASCII equivalent of small a to small z. So now 0 to 9 is, I think, from 48. Value 48 is the ASCII value of 0, symbol 0, which is on the keyboard. So now with none of the values which are 1, 5, 5, 4, 5 are given there, right? So for none of them, this character 5 will be matched. Character 5 will match with the char of 53. Char of 53. If you do char of 53, integer 53, we will get the symbol 5. So then it will be matched. So in all the cases, this is false. This is false. For 5 times, it will be false, and we will get failed for 5 times. We'll get failed, and so on. Failed for 5 times. Okay. Am I clear? Right. Yeah, this is enough. It is already 12:41. I'm closing. Right. Bye-bye.